it's more important to find your person than to just be with any person because you feel like you need to be with a person. What do you desire more? An orgasm or to actually inherit the kingdom of heaven? Just because it's gotten a new name doesn't mean that it changes cheating. And like in no way, shape, or form will cheating ever be cool in my book. You eliminating people that bring you down is most definitely 100%, quote me on this, going to help you level up.
What do you like about yourself?
What do I like about being myself?
Mm-hmm.
That I'm always able to see a lesson in whatever challenge life throws at us. Hello, hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are a returning subscriber, and if you are new, you are absolutely welcome to the Babe community. Babe stands for being accountable, bold, and evolved. And here today, we have quite an interesting video. I don't know if you guys remembered, but a few weeks ago, I told you guys I was on this group, and on this group, they kind of just like ask for advice and just share their experience and are just open to hearing other people's perspectives and opinions and advice. So I have a few of those, but then I also have a few um, video ideas that people told me that they'd like to hear me speak about. Um, so we're gonna have a bit of a variety here today, but I think we should start off with the advice questions. So let's get right into that. So the first one says, how long should you wait after a breakup for you to get into another relationship? And I actually commented on there, when you are ready. I believe it's always nice to pray about everything. It's always nice to pray about a partner. Like for me, when I was single for a long time, I would meet different people and be like, is this my person? Is this my person? Is this my person? And basically, I just felt like that was too much to have all that on my shoulders of like, is this my person? And me having to know, like, is this my person? And like, I just thought to myself, like, bro, the next person that I go into a relationship to be my husband type of energy. And like for me, it's like I go into dating with the intent of like, getting married, because what is your goal of dating? So like I would say, like, after a breakup, like, take the time to heal. If you feel like the next day after the breakup, like, you ready, like, I'd say, like, maybe just take some time to like sit into like how you feel, how you felt, like gather your thoughts, reflect, whatever. But I don't think there's like a specific time period, like, oh, you need to wait this X amount of time before like you date, like, otherwise it's unacceptable. People are going to judge you regardless of what you do. I think it's better to move in faith and pray about your partner. Like, my specific prayer was like, Heavenly Father, if this person is for me, let them stay in my life. If they're not for me, let them leave my life easily and effortlessly. And like, bro, that actually like genuinely and thoroughly worked. Like, people would literally like just leave. Like, I'd like speak to them and like we'd go on a date, whatever, and then I'd say that prayer and then just be like, go on. And I'd like be so at peace, like it wouldn't even bother me. Mostly. Once I make peace with the fact that you're not meant to be in my life, it's a wrap. And like for me, that's like where I like same topic, it kind of like goes into the first one. It's like once I get confirmation, like in prayer, that someone is not for me, or I pray and they just leave my life, like it's over for me. Like, yeah, I pray everything of the best for the person, but it's like, you know, it's more important to find your person than to just be with any person because you feel like you need to be with a person, you know? Let's move on to the next topic. Okay, so the next topic is sleeping around like it's okay, but it's actually scary. So, first of all, like, I think a lot of people just need to realize that sex is more than just a physical act. And once people can wrap their head around that, I think a lot of people will be having sex a lot less, because knowing that sex is supposed to be something that's sacred, it's supposed to be something that's honorable, it's supposed to be something that is between you and your spouse versus just you and like Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Sam, and everyone else, you know. I know that in today's time and age, um, a lot of people kind of look at like having different partners as being empowering and kind of like do you and no one should judge you and all this stuff. At the end of the day, like God will judge you because that is fornication, that is a work of the flesh. And if you like desire to live more in the spirit, then you have to know that in your spirit, man, like there's always going to be that conflict between the two. And it's like, what do you desire more? An orgasm or to actually inherit the kingdom of heaven? Like for me, like that question like is just right. And the topic again is sleeping around like it's cool, but it's actually scary. It's scary because you create soul ties with people, and especially for women, you open yourself up to you don't even know, like people that like have sex, especially when, like, you know, when I watch movies and it's like the first scene and they met and they had this amazing date and they kiss and whatever, and then bam, they're having sex, and I'm just like, yo, just when I thought this movie was going to be a nice movie, because it's like how like, and they make it seem like it's so romantic, like no. uh I just think like sex shouldn't be taken as lightly. People take having sex as People take having sex more lightly than they take getting married. It's like marriage is this huge commitment, but having sex somehow isn't. I just think that that is backwards for a reason, and that's definitely from the enemy. And so, moving on to our next topic, sneaky links, hoping they don't catch feelings. So, I've been seeing, besides the person that mentioned this to me, I've been seeing this a lot on TikTok where people are like saying sneaky link, blah, blah, blah. It's like, let's call sneaky link what it is. It's cheating. And it's like, just because it's gotten a new name doesn't mean that it changes cheating. And like in no way, shape, or form will cheating ever be cool in my book. It's like how people changed, instead of saying good and bad, instead of saying good and evil, because they've taken the word bad and kind of like made it this thing that seems okay, because it's like be a bad bee, da da da, oh that's so bad, blah. But they mean it like in a cool way, like in a acceptable way, like in a nice way, like in a way that people actually desire to be bad. Place the word evil with bad, but it's actually when you say good and evil, you can clearly see that there's a clear distinction, you know, between good and evil. And like in no shape or form will there ever be kind of like okay to be evil, you know, in my books. Um, so like, ew, man, sneaky links. Like that's all I gotta say on that topic. This topic is dressing half naked. So I think like I'm gonna address this specifically to women and just say that I know that a lot of us are still finding ourselves. And I don't know if you've been in a relationship where it's like your partner is like cover up or don't wear this or wear that. And like immediately the first thing that people always say is like possessive, obsessed, like all these things. But like leave aside like your partner and what they say for a second, right? Just like take into consideration that your boobs, your ass, your vagina, those are all sexual organs. And it's like I was also one of those people that used to like call men sick. But if you look at the way a man is naturally designed, they are designed to find those three things that I just mentioned: attractive, sexually attractive, because they are supposed to have sex with those things. So it's like having those things on display. Also, just ask yourself, like, what type of attention are you looking for? And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, they're not looking for any attention. But they have to realize that whether they were looking for it or not, if they have those things on display, then they will be receiving some sort of attention. And if you would like rather like avoiding that type of attention, then maybe just dress a little bit more modestly, or you know, you can still be sexy even though you are covered up, or looking a little bit more elegant, I'd say. So yeah, the dressing half naked part, like another thing that also like reminds me of scripture is that where it says like if you awaken in a man his sexual appetite, but you don't like intend on fulfilling it, like that's also a sin. So it's like just to like be mindful of that. And the next topic is singing songs mindlessly. So I was definitely someone who was guilty. I was guilty of this because growing up, like I loved music and like I barely knew the lyrics, but like I knew the lyrics. Sometimes I make my own lyrics, but like I liked, if a song comes on, like I like being able to sing the song with the singer. And like a lot of times, like I as a child didn't know what they were even talking about. And a lot of songs are hyperly sexualized, and a lot of songs are toxic, like the love that they describe is toxic. A lot of songs is to do with suicide and blood money and all these things. And if you really like truly look into the meaning of these things, it's like I would like ask you, like, is that something genuinely you would like see for yourself in your life, or is the type of energy that you'd like to bring into your life? And a lot of people like think that listening to music is not that deep, but I just like to tell you it is that deep. Yeah, it is that deep. And here's why. Our subconscious mind is always listening to the conversations that we have, the music that we are listening to, and even the movies that we're watching. And because of that, like, let me just show you like how deep this goes. Our body is affected by frequency, and music is made out of frequency. And with the different frequencies of music, it impacts our body because frequency impacts water, and we are made up to 70% of water. So, whether we know this or not, our subconscious is affected by us listening to different types of music or movies or whatever it may be. And like knowing that our subconscious mind is affected by that, it's like because of that, like I believe that it's best to like be mindful of what we're listening to and make sure that what we're listening to is in alignment with what we actually would like to have in our life, stuff that like we would like to attract. Because like, ooh, be careful. Like for me, like even Celine Dion, like I grew up like listening to Celine Dion because she was like a fave, right? In my household. And like later on, I realized when I like as an adult like listened to her music, I was like, oh my goodness, like this is toxic love. Like absolutely not. I do not desire this in my life. Like no way. Like unacceptable. Mm-mm, no. And it's also just like it's difficult because I can say that yeah, it's difficult to like just stop listening to that type of music because it's everywhere. It's mainstream, like all over social media platforms. And I can also say it's not impossible. Yeah. Next topic is, and this is our final topic, surrounding yourself with people that bring you down. Oh goodness. So a lot of times people surround themselves with people that bring them down because they would rather be surrounded with someone than be alone, because they think being alone is this horrible thing. And this is where I'd like to bring in the saying that says quality over quantity. So you rather have just you, just that one person, and that person, like you work on you being the best friend to people that would maybe later come into your life. Then you have a bunch of people that just like bring you down and you just feel horrible, or a person just feels horrible every time they're around those people. And like, let me tell you, you eliminating people that bring you down is most definitely 100%, quote me on this, going to help you level up. There's no way you'll be the same if you start eliminating things that are holding you back. You will flourish. And on that note, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching this video and getting up to this point. And if you are right up to this point, I'd like you to send me a red rose in the comments, just so I know that you have watched this video with me and kind of just like gone through the motions with me. I will see you next week, Sunday. For now, sending you lots of love. Have a beautiful rest of your day.